future. Get ready for the ride. We're going down to hell tonight, so strap yourself inside. There's a glaring contradiction in your world that's made of glass. Something small can shatter it and nail you to the past. The road beneath your wheels, the madness that you feel. Oh, you will pay with your life.
Welcome to the Metal Voice. Yes, metal fans, today is the day. Today's the day where we will be reviewing the new album by AC/DC, Rock or Bust. This is a full album review. My guest today, the legend, the lead singer of Dragon's Claw, the one, the only, Jaws Lavery. What's going on?
In rock we trust! It's rock or bust!
Nice, Jaws.
AC/DC, new record, man. Let's do it.
If Johnson ever retires, you're in. You're in. You're in like Flint.
I'm in. I'm Brian Johnson 2.0.
That's right. So here we go. Rock or Bust. Let's just get right into it. Right off the bat, what did you think of the new album? Tell me your thoughts.
Okay, I've given it about 12, 13, 14, 15 listens this past week. First impression, I think it's a step down from Black Ice, which I thought was a really strong comeback. You know, probably in my opinion, their strongest since The Razor's Edge. Albums like Ball Breaker, Stiff Upper Lip have had, you know, certain tracks.
Yes.
But as an entire album, I thought Black Ice was a real strong, you know, record. For me, Rock or Bust kind of goes back to that case of, yeah, there's some tracks, but as a whole record, I personally, like I said, I feel it's a step down. How did you feel?
Charles, I think it's like the cousin of Black Ice. It's a continuation of Black Ice. It was a great album. It was refreshing. And this album, on the first listen, we spoke about this briefly, I didn't quite get it. I didn't quite like it. I thought it was, let's say, a 6 out of 10. But upon multiple listens, and I've heard this like you have, about 12, 13, 14 times, I kind of like it. I think it's got a boogie feel to it. It's got a nice groove. The production by Brandon O'Brien, I believe, he's done another great job. I like it. Is it better than Black Ice? No. It's probably a tiny bit, you know, maybe it's a tiny step back. But overall, I think it is a good album. I don't think it's their best album, and I don't think it's their worst album either. It's somewhere in the middle of the pack. It's AC/DC. What can you expect, right? I mean, AC/DC.
I just feel the choruses here could have been a little stronger. There could have been some, you know, they've really got that weight around their neck, known as, you know, Back in Black. Yeah. Nothing they've done since has been Back in Black, and nothing they will ever do will be Back in Black. And that's got to be real tough to, you know, every time they go in the studio, to kind of have to always have in the back of their head. Is it better than Live Your Video? Is it better than Fly on the Wall? Is it better than Ball Breaker? I would say it's probably about the same as one of those records for me. It's got some strong tracks, like those records did, and it's got some stuff that I would just say is filler, much like those records also did.
Let's talk about the tracks we liked. Okay, for myself, Rock or Bust. Oh, yeah. Rock or Bust, I really, at first I thought it was okay, but then I got really into it, and I found that it's a very strong song. Great way to open the album. Play Ball, Rock the Blues Away. I know what you're going to say about that. Dogs of War, Sweet Candy. I think these are the strongest tracks on the album, and it's like you said, it's just a typical AC/DC album. It's got a lot of strong stuff, but a lot of, I wouldn't say filler, I would say just, okay, I will say filler. There's a couple of filler.
I'll say filler. I'll say filler too. I mean, yeah. I'm going to call a spade a spade. And for me, I think it starts strong. I think the title track, the riff sounds like Nervous Shakedown to me. Yeah. It's a good track. You know, it's not a Hell's Bells. Once again, we go back to this Back in Black thing. It's not for those about to rock. You know, as far as opening tracks go, it's pretty standard, but it's a good track. Yep. Play Ball, the first single, good. Rock the Blues Away, man. Pull out your Black Ice and you listen to Anything Goes.
Yeah.
I think it's called from Black Ice.
Yeah, it is.
It's the verse melody is identical. It's the same song essentially. There's the main riff has a slight change, but when you get to the verse, you sing it. You sing Anything Goes over Rock the Blues Away, and it's the same song.
Yep.
Misadventure kind of has a little bit of that chanty Thunderstruck thing going on, but it's far from the anthem that Thunderstruck is.
Yeah.
I like Dogs of War. I think that's really cool. I think that's a really cool track. And then for me, I mean, me personally, the album kind of like it's all about the first half for me. The second half, I kind of get it becomes a little bit less memorable for me. I think Baptism by Fire is pretty cool. Like you say, Sweet Candy, but other than that, my favorite tracks are probably the first 4 or 5.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, also a note: Malcolm Young is the first album he didn't participate in. We don't know if there were some leftover riffs as well.
Well, he's credited as co-writer on every track. Now I don't know if that's just some sort of brotherly agreement that the band are going to go forward and Malcolm's always going to get a half a credit, or whether they are they could have had riffs knocking. They could have a huge library of riffs that they're going to be pulling from here till the end. But only they know that. Maybe they will reveal that in as they do the press for the record. But Malcolm is credited as co-writer on every track.
And also Stevie Young, who's taken over. He actually played the guitar for Malcolm on their nephew. That is on this album. Brian Johnson, I find he's singing. It's a great. He sings great. I mean, don't expect.
He sings really good. He sounds really good. I mean, there was a time. Yeah. There was a time during Stiff Upper Lip where I was kind of getting a little bit like, man, Brian's sounding a bit, either rough or rushed. I don't know which. But he sounds great on this record. I thought he sounded good on Black Ice too. But I think Brian is a real highlight of this record.
Brian is definitely that's the 10 out of 10 right there. Other stuff, and Phil Rudd. My God.
Well,
what can we say? I don't know what to say. I mean,
it's all been covered. It's all been covered well by the the international press. Right. I mean, will he be with the band for the tour? I mean, probably not. You don't. He's got some pretty serious accusations against him, and I know they've dropped the murder for hire charge, but he's still got the drug charges and the threatening to kill or whatever. I mean, he probably won't be present. Does that mean we're going to see Chris Slade back behind the kit or Simon Wright? Only time will tell. Well, one thing we do know, this might be their last album. I mean, Brian Johnson is 67 years old, unless Giles is going to take over the vocals for AC/DC. I don't know. There you go.
I don't know. I mean, Angus is still young. He's he's about 60 years old. Still got a couple albums left in him. But time will only tell. Anyways, I give this album, let's say, a 7.8 out of 10, maybe 7.9 out of 10. What about yourself?
Well, yeah, I mean, you're a little more generous than me. I'm a little tougher. I mean, when you start getting up to 7, 8, 9 out of 10, for me, that's got to be kind of pretty close to a classic. But, I don't want to bring the overall rating down too low, so I'll give it a 7 out of 10.
There you go. Meat and Potatoes AC/DC album. Go out and buy it. And thanks for watching The Metal Voice.